Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, pre-gamers. What up, Ryan 840? We're just. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, they want to do that. I'm going to do this, though. Ah! I have a lot of baseball talk today, my friend.
Yeah.
A lot of baseball talk today.
What's the word, everybody?
How was your weekends?
Ryan 840.
Front and center. That man, he was ready to go today.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, what up? What up? It's the sound of the police. I got to put my hat on. Ain't no good.
What's wrong? Come on. What's wrong? You can't have a hat off?
I wasn't impressed.
You weren't impressed with your hair?
No, it looked terrible.
Looks he's almost on vacation soon.
Yeah, Wednesday. I got 2 days, and we take off. Take off on Wednesday. Vacay/baseball tournament.
Yes.
What's up? Wake up. We have a little fun today, too. A little fun. We got a little, the Butenbach family. Ben and Megan will be in today to talk about a little golf tournament and help support Nebraska baseball.
That's exciting.
Yeah. How we can help them out.
Yes. That will be coming up.
Yeah. By 10:30-ish?
I don't know.
I told him come and hang out at 10:25 because we'll have Evan Bland, too.
Yep.
Whole lot of fun sports this weekend, man. Wow. What a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
What a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Will done did it again.
People better start listening to me.
The cred is real, man.
Ernesto listened to me.
Did he jump on it?
I should tell you what he won this weekend.
Whoa, we'll get
but
to
I
that.
don't want to.
Let's get to that. That's his business.
That's his business. It's not me.
Wow. So I was trying to figure that. I mean, you won the bet, by the way.
Hope you had a good Father's Day as well, Ryan.
Yeah.
My dad had a good Father's Day.
He did.
Came and visited me while I was bartending, and let's say he had a good.
Let's say you had
a good day.
So let's say you had to reach out to make sure he got home.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, our golf bet I was just looking at. We'll talk about it, but I was just kind of doing the scores. It's so funny. Obviously, you're gonna win with Bryson. So like you went -6, -2 with Matsuyama to get to 8. Scheffler was 8 over, so you were even. Roy -5, Xander -1, that's -6. Koepka +6. So even par.
Oh my God.
But you had the winner.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Boom, 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 boom.
Tell me what you gonna do.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy Monday. Welcome in the Morning Hookup. Bill Hooks, Will Wilson, back after a phenomenal weekend. Hope everyone had a great Father's Day. Out there, you got to do what you got to do. Hang out with your kids, got taken care of, got to grill out, whatever it was. Hope you had a great weekend. Not just fathers, everybody else as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had a good Father's Day.
I did, man. I did. You know, it's funny because like I just on Father's Day, I kind of just have it set. I like to go. Again, we had baseball. Obviously, there'd be no better place, right, to go watch your kid play.
Yeah.
Right. So we're out there, and actually, it was cool because all the families were there. Like, yeah, all the brothers and all that. So all of them were out there hanging out watching us play.
Nice.
Boys had a successful weekend, and then it's like I just want to go back when we're done. It was hot.
It's
simple.
hot.
It's simple for me. It's hot. I want to go back. I had a couple errands to run. All I wanted to do, and it got done. shower, be in my chair, cocktail in hand, back 9 in the U.S. Open. That's it. And then we'll grill out after.
Get me
That's all.
home.
That's it.
Get me home.
It was hot. Just get me home.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to do.
Good.
Ty and I hung out. Tanner was doing his thing. They just kind of let me sit in my chair
Good.
and watch all the drama unfold. It was awesome.
And there was drama.
There was drama. We'll talk about that. But you had a good Father's Day. You're not a father, but your dad came in and wanted to hang out because it's because Will's such a good son. Like Mother's Day, you buy the drinks for your mom.
Yep.
Father's Day, and by the way, you're pouring and buying.
Yeah,
pouring at the same time.
Yeah.
So I trying to figure out where the blame falls in this one.
Well, I mean, he didn't know I was going to be covering his drinks.
Oh, come on. He already knew that you covered mom. Seems like you damn well better cover mine.
Well, yeah, but then he kept ordering shots for everybody, and it's like, well,
Happy
geez.
Father's Day!
Yeah.
Woo! One for you. One for you.
Hey, he had a great time, and that, as a son, makes me happy to see that he had a good time.
Good.
So that was a lot of fun. And of course, it was a good day for him. It was also a good day for me. Thank you, Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, man, you just keep landing on the right spot.
If you're not listening to me, you're lost.
You're lost.
If you listen to my 2 picks I gave out, including the Belmont Stakes,
You've been spot on, my
you'd
friend.
be up like $1,900 right now.
When is the next? We got to figure out when the next part, like next foot drops for you, and what's the next sporting event?
Ooh,
We got to think ahead.
the Open, maybe
The Open Championship.
the
That's
Open.
the last
yeah?
major of the year, July 18th, middle of July, 17, 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
I believe. Can I not just call it the British Open still?
I think you can, but the Open is just cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
The Open.
Yeah. It's fine. But a lot of sports. You guys, again, have you had a great weekend? Thanks for hanging out with us on a Monday. Again, coming up in about 10 minutes, Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. And then, like I said, we'll have Ben and Megan Butenbach coming in. As you know, their son Max plays on Husker baseball.
Mhm.
There's a get their story and talk about the event. It's an NIL golf event. Let's just say it out there. Let's be honest. Right? We're going to help people get signed up for this event. Woodland Hills, I think it's August 23rd. There's some other connections there that we'll talk with them about. They'll be in about 10:30ish.
Okay.
We'll hang out with them.
Sweet.
Get everybody signed up.
That sounds awesome.
And there's so much sports to talk about. We're going to be a lot of baseball today too. So,
Well,
but let's kick off. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, if you're having a good Monday and if you had a good Sunday, then you're probably not Rory McIlroy.
You are not, man. I tell you what. Whew, boy, what the U.S. Open, by the way, this one, where it was played at, how it was set up, gave you everything you need to know and love about golf. So much there with the dudes that were playing in it, with the way the cut people got in and made the cut.
Yes.
The greens being talked about, the waste areas being talked about. I'm going to tell you right now, all that, the U.S. Open this year was a 10 out of 10.
It was perfect.
It was 10 out of 10.
It was tricky.
Okay. 10 out of 10. It was tricky, but masterful performances by that top side.
Yeah.
The greens, it couldn't have been better. Then they got the drama that they needed. You've got Bryson DeChambeau, Roy McIlroy. You got guys trying to stay connected that just couldn't stay connected with those two.
Mm-hmm.
For every other hole for a while, it was like, well, DeChambeau's back in the lead by 1. Oh, he made a double. Oh, Roy's got a lead here now. Could be 2. It was 2 at one point. Then Bryson drives the green on 13, almost makes eagle, but he then gets back to 1. And then all of a sudden, Roy McIlroy cannot hit 3-foot putts. Let's be honest with this. McIlroy had lost the U.S. Open. DeChambeau did what he needed to do, but McIlroy lost the U.S. Open.
Yes, he did.
Coming into the year, the stat that keeps being thrown out right now, and again, the stat, you can throw them out, whatever, different greens, all that. But the fact that Roy McIlroy was 495 out of 495 with 3-foot putts.
Damn.
And he drops 2 in the last 3 or 4 holes.
Oh, man.
My goodness. And then you get by the way, the bunker shot Bryson hit, one of the all-time best U.S. Open shots, clutch shots you're going to see.
Hell of a shot.
He was the only person to get up and down out of that bunker all weekend.
No way. I didn't know that.
The only one. No, one person, and it was the 72nd hole at the U.S. Open, knocks it to 4 feet, and he's a champ.
I was locked in on this. I needed, obviously I had a wager on Bryson, so I was team Bryson all weekend. I was glued to the TV on Sunday.
I was texting you. I'm like, you doing all right, my
you
man?
were texting me, and I was getting kind of upset because the dude couldn't hit a fairway. He kept trying to he was doing what he was doing all weekend, but he could not find a fairway. It was the most frustrating thing in the world. Luckily, he plays out of those waste bunkers pretty well, but he couldn't hit a fairway, and I was getting pretty upset. And he starts, dropping down. There was that 2-shot swing where Rory birdied, he bogeyed. All of a sudden, Rory's up 2, and I'm like, well, God, this is done.
It was. At that point,
I was afraid.
At that point, a lot of people thought, fairways, greens, 2 putts.
And
because there were no birdie opportunities pretty much the rest of the way after 13.
We want to give Rory, a lot of crap for missing those 3-footers. Bryson did the same thing. I can't remember what hole it was. It was 14 or 15, but he missed a 3-footer too where he bogeyed.
Yes.
I thought that was when that happened. I thought, okay, this is done.
Yes.
And we all feel for Rory. We've all done that.
I felt for him like people have felt for, but it's been over 10 years now, right? At 10 years since his last major. And you're starting to feel like the U.S. Open will elude him again and again and again, like it did Phil Mickelson his entire career.
Right. At least he's won one, though.
Rory's
won it.
Yes. He's now back-to-back second place finishes at the U.S. Open. And he was not sticking around very long.
No. And if there's one thing that happened over the weekend is that people like Bryson DeChambeau now.
He has now become likable. First, I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
But he was hooping and hollering with the crowd. All the right things were being done, which were not, I would say, not previously. That was not him.
No.
Right? But he was signing stuff during rounds. He was pumping the crowd up. After he wins it, he's like out there all night long, letting them touch the trophy. You got the chants, USA, throughout. Then you had the other side of the course, Rory. It was like, holy, this is amazing.
I want to play this. This was Bryson during the press conference after the round, and he was asked about Rory and missing that putt.
Yep.
Check this out.
I know you didn't see his round, but can you empathize with what Rory is feeling right now, coming up 1 shot short and missing out on a major championship?
Yeah. Rory's one of the best to ever play. And being able to fight against a great like that is pretty special. For him to miss that putt, I'd never wished it on anybody. It just happened to play out that way, and he'll win multiple more major championships. There's no doubt, and I think that fire in him is going to continue to grow. And I have nothing but respect for how he plays the game of golf. Because, to be honest, when he was climbing up the leaderboard and he was 2 ahead, I was like, but luckily, things went my way today.
And they did. That's how it panned out.
And there's kind of an unspoken story there, because what has Rory built himself on the last 2 years? Anti-live golf.
Yeah.
And I think when you saw him leave the scorecard room,
when how pissed he was, that
it was a live guy. Number one. And also, I love it how a live guy won this thing. You guys want to give them a ton of crap, but here's one guy who plays in live who just won a major championship.
Yeah. I don't, for me, it's like, I still am like, whatever. But there's 2 guys. Like, I've never been a DeChambeau guy, and I don't know what changed in him. But like I said, he's become likable to the fans. There's 2 of them that are that way. DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. I think people could care less about the rest. A DJ or a Sergio or a...
Well, DJ played awful over the weekend.
He's been playing awful.
Sergio played okay.
Yeah, he's been playing awful. But when you look at it, also huge purse, by the way. He walks away with $4.3 million.
4.3
for the golf tournament. Roy McIlroy was second. He gets over $2 million. A couple guys that played their way into some money. One was Tony Finau in his round.
He had a pretty good round.
He ends up finishing tied for third, taking home just over $1.4 million. Right along with tie with Patrick Cantlay in that.
So what happened with Scotty?
Scheffler, dude, his rounds he never got a round going the entire tournament. Honestly, putting, it wasn't good on the greens and all that. And what did he finish? 8 over par.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he finished in a 8-way or some big way tie for 41st.
Do you think this, because he's obviously had a lot of success this whole year. This is the first time like he's really played bad. Do you think this kind of messes with him in the next few tournaments?
No.
Because to me, I feel like it could be kind of shocking. Like,
it could be shocking. It could be tired. He could be tired, right? And you have those weeks. Golf is probably one of those sports you play that you just have that week where you're just not sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in a course like that, if you don't have it all together, then you'll be in a bad spot. And that's where he got to.
Thigala had the shot of the tournament.
I don't know. Was Thigala's the shot of the tournament
or
Molinari's
to
ace his last hole
to make the cut?
Get in the cut. To make the cut.
Okay, that was shot of the tournament.
Come on now.
That was shot of the tournament.
That is
Let's
awesome.
rank it right now.
Thigala's shot, you talking about the little chip shot he hit? Was sick.
Okay, let's put Molinari's 1. Now, what goes 2? Bryson's bunker shot or Thigala's chip in?
Bryson's bunker shot to me is got to be the most clutch shot of the entire tournament. The best
that was insane.
And the stat being that he's the only one that got up out of that up and down out of that bunker is phenomenal. On the 72nd hole.
Man, that's awesome.
Like, think about the pressure of that shot. It's 55-yard bunker shot, by the way.
He really swung at it.
Yes. 50-degree wedge, swung it, got up, perfect. Imagine the pressure if he does what everybody else did. Long, and it runs off that green.
Yeah.
Having to chip back up to that.
You would have lost. By the way, you owe me lunch.
I do. Tiger missed the cut. He was good. He just wasn't good enough.
Was he good?
I thought he was really good. Tee to green, no putting. No putting. Missed it in the bad spots.
Well, you let me know when you want to.
I got you.
When you want to go out. I love it. We go to Shokunin.
Also, something that came out of this. This was the last chance for qualifying for the Olympics. As we know, the Olympics are upon us.
Yes.
Patrick Cantlay finishes 3rd in the tournament. He needed to finish 2nd or better.
So he's out.
He's out. Your U.S. Olympic team will now be world's number 1, Scotty Scheffler, world's number 3, Xander Schauffele, number 5, Wyndham Clark, and number 7, Colin Morikawa. All now eligible for the Olympics.
And that's based on world golf rankings, right?
Yes, world golf, yes.
Wow.
Yes. Schauffele coming off, as we know, the reigning gold medalist in 2020. So
what do you think? That's a pretty
pretty stout team to me.
It's.
I mean, when you're taking, of course, it's world golf ranking, but when you're taking names like Scheffler, Schauffele, Clark, and Morikawa, you're pretty good.
Yeah,
you're pretty stacked up.
That's gonna be fun.
Pretty stacked up. So
Olympic golf has gotten really fun. I'm glad they made that an Olympic sport.
Yes, absolutely. Boy, so it was a lot of fun. The next time, again, next major mid-July. A lot of fun to watch. A lot of drama in there. So
yeah.
All right, let's take a break. We come back. We'll jump on and talk a little College World Series with Evan Bland.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
Greg, unfortunately, I haven't finished the 11-hour round 1 broadcast. Worked Friday, Saturday, and took Pops out for Father's Day. I'll get to it. Oh, good for you, Greg. That's awesome.
Yeah, Ryan 84. That sounds like an awesome day. Played golf with my son and an old man. Yeah, that's perfect.
That is awesome.
I might try to make it up for another College World Series game before we go.
How was Friday?
Awesome.
Did you guys go meet Roy?
You know what? It's funny you say that because you couldn't get to him really because he was sitting in the middle of an aisle.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't bother him, He was sitting up just above us, like this way. Middle of the aisle, sit with former coach Mike Fox.
I know that name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it was so interesting on Saturday because that second game didn't start until what, 10
o'clock. It's incredible. And then you had 2 rude ass Texas A&M fans.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I have a clip of that.
There's
Maybe
a time
we'll get to
and
that.
place for that crap.
There's no time and no place.
Well,
for that.
no, that's what I meant. Like, there's no time and no place.
Yeah.
Idiots. But man, what about those games? Have been awesome. Crowds have been awesome. It was hot when we went. We went to obviously Friday 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It was hot. Carolina got a win and a walk off. That's cool. It's cool to see walk offs.
Did you guys have good seats?
We did.
Yeah, man. Some
Well,
good
but
games.
it was hot though. That was, I mean, in hindsight, when I'm thinking through it, like we might go today. My son wants to go up today just to catch a game because we're gonna be gone. Obviously, we'll miss the rest of the tournament. And in hindsight, when you're looking at those seats, you try to figure out what row gets you like, especially right now because it's so hot, like by the overhang. We were like, so I had a little bit of connections, got some seats. We were like 3 rows back, just down from the third base dugout. So Carolina was just like right there.
Oh, nice.
Dead in the sun.
Like
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like to the point it was so hot. And that stadium gets hot. It just does. To the point when you go up to the bathroom real quick or get a bottle of water or something, you come back, your seat was hot.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. My little man, Tanner, he's like a little twig. He just hot.
Sit down,
son. And I kept trying to tell him, like, you gotta sit on the seat and cool it. Like, you gotta keep inching back.
You gotta cool it down.
Ryan Schmidt said, thanks for the shots yesterday, Jeff and Will. You might just say Will.
Schmidt, it was good seeing you, man.
God, if I'd have known you were buying or come down.
Yeah.
Well, Evan, we're going to get Evan up, talk a little baseball. And then, like I said, we're going to talk to the Butenbachs here in about, they'll be here in about 8 minutes. We're going to do this segment and we'll have Evan and we'll have maybe you go get him and bring him in and we'll talk to Evan and figure that out. $45 seconds, Evan Bland. Also, we'll be off. No show Wednesday. So you guys know, no show Wednesday.
And we'll be off on Monday as well.
Off on Monday as well. No, yeah, because I will be taking off on Wednesday, and Will is doing some stuff on Wednesday, and they give us the day off too. So boom. And then Monday, I'll be coming back, and Will will be leaving, so no Monday.
Yep.
We'll keep you appeased. Then Will be gone next week. He gets to do his vacation time and up in Bemidji.
And I'm excited.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Happy Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's bring on Evan Bland from the Omaha World Herald. Evan, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, guys.
Boy, I tell you what, the College World Series is off to a hot start. Have you gone down and been a part of the Jello shot thing yet?
Not this year. I have done it the last couple. So I got to figure out which team I'm going to place my bet on, so to speak. But no, not quite this year. But it's quite the atmosphere.
That was my question: is how do you decide? Because I was down there. I had kids with me on Friday, so I did not. But it's like without Nebraska being there, what's the decision like on where you're going to put your, all your money at?
I suppose if you're like a neutral party, you can go a whole bunch of different ways. For me, like I try to prop up the teams that are on the bottom. So like, I think I added to Stanford's total last year, and just some of these teams that didn't travel well or were not all that well represented. So like, I didn't want to add to LSU's total. Like they didn't need any help last year. They were doing a great job on their own. Like the SEC schools, they were doing just fine. So I try to kind of help out the underdogs and, add a little local support to those teams from far away.
Well, sorry, Hooks,
No,
go ahead.
Good. No, you're good. Go.
Well, Evan, I was just going to say, man, we've already got a few games in, and it's been nothing but electricity up there. What are your thoughts so far on these first few days?
Yeah, it's been outstanding. I mean, the Friday, Saturday with the 3 walk-offs and then the Florida A&M game that went late into the night and had the play at the wall that saved the 2-run would-be go-ahead home run for Florida. I mean, it's been kind of what you would expect. Like that's with the way that college baseball is going and in a lot of ways college athletics, like you're seeing sort of the haves and the have-nots across the sport. But when you get to the championship level events, like it just shows how much parity there actually is. And we kind of knew that coming in when you had 7 national seeds and your big underdog was 3-seed Florida, that had been in the CWS final a year ago and has the field's best player in Jack Caglione. And so like my thought kind of set going into this thing was like not who's the favorite, but who's the underdog. And like I didn't know, who that would even really be. Is it Kentucky, which kind of ran away with the SEC most of the year and had never been to the CWS? Is it Florida? Like it's hard to really pick somebody that would be a long shot. And so I think the games have reflected that, where it's been really close, tight games, good pitching depth everywhere, up and down every lineup. It seems like there's a threat to go long or to, make a big difference. So, I think it's kind of been what we thought. There've been a lot of power league. I mean, obviously SEC, ACC are the only schools represented. So you have a lot of power brands, programs that have had resources poured into them, and it's made for some pretty cool theater through a few days here.
Again, we're speaking to Evan Bland with the Omaha World Herald. Well, Evan, you've been able to see some games, and there's some big time prospects out there for the Major League. Who have you been most impressed with? I know the kid out of Tennessee, holy Christmas, by the way, goes to the cycle, first time since 1956, first time there. Or is it the big hitter out of Florida, Honeycutt? Who's impressed you the most?
Yeah, I mean, Caglione, I don't know how many people watched that game because it was so late, but he was intimidating, and he was a presence in that lineup. Honeycutt hasn't had a great College World Series, but he had the big moment with the walk-off hit, and he's been really good in the NCAA tournament. Christian Moore, like you mentioned, for Tennessee, has probably been the most impressive in terms of individually. I don't know that we have quite the pitching star power that we've had at past College World Series, but Sam Highfill for NC State was really good. We're going to see Caglione today for Florida here in a few hours, so that'll be pretty interesting too. The event overall, I think the star power is a little bit less than last year, but that's only because last year was blinding with Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz and a number of the other players that were in that particular event. So I think it's part of why college baseball is growing the way that it is because there are a lot of marketable stars that have been good all season, and guys that, as history now is telling us these last couple of years, it's not unrealistic to think that a few of these guys playing in Omaha this week could be in the majors in a year or two. That's just the level of development that you're seeing in college baseball, the resources these programs are putting into these kids. So it's making for some really interesting games now. The crowds clearly want to come out and see. I think they had, again, 25,000 last night. The TV viewership says people are interested. So it's in a really good spot. And in part, that's because there are a lot of stars that are performing well on the big stage.
Evan, obviously there was some troubling stuff that happened Saturday night during that A&M Florida game. Can you share some thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, not good in any way, shape, or form. There was kind of the question about like, hey, were these guys A&M fans? Were they Florida State fans? And ultimately, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you just if you're conducting yourself like that at any kind of sporting event where you're heckling the other team because of a tragic death that occurred in their program, like, there's just no place for that. And so I thought it was cool that OPD essentially made it clear what the violation was from these guys, so they didn't have sort of the side fame that comes with being kicked out or being on TV. Like, I think making it known just the despicable nature of what they were doing. I think the punishment was appropriate. And I think it's just a good reminder that, like, there's sportsmanship, there's gamesmanship, there's trash talk, all that's fun. It's going to get intense, but like, there's clearly a line that you just don't cross. And these guys did. And I'm glad, that they've been made examples of, because there's just no place for it.
Evan, also give us a little rundown. There are some Nebraska connections in this tournament as well. And by the way, did I hear last night, and maybe I missed it, the Tennessee pitching coach has some Nebraska connections as well?
Not to my knowledge. That could be Frank Anderson. I know he's been really good. I believe he's a Texas alum, if I'm not mistaken. But not to my knowledge. There are a lot of local, high school connections there. If you're talking about Eli Small, who's with Kentucky, or Dalton Bargo with Tennessee. Tennessee also has a reliever named Marcus Phillips who went to Iowa Western just across the river there. So there are a few guys with some local, connections. I don't know. I can't recall any Husker specific connections to this College World Series. Maybe I'm forgetting something, but I don't recall anything directly connected to those guys. But it's always fun just to kind of see the different storylines and backgrounds. And, you've got guys coming from D2 and D3. You've got freshmen. You have top prospects. It's just kind of this mishmash. And, I think you could play this tournament out 100 times and you'd get a whole bunch of different results.
Awesome. Again, we're speaking to Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. Well, Evan, are there any Husker updates on have they started this summer ball, or are they just now getting there?
Yeah, I mean, most of those guys have been out for a couple weeks now. From all over the place, all different levels, from the Cape to the Northwoods League. I mean, North South, the Alaska, baseball leagues. Yeah, those guys are out right now, and they'll typically play through July before they report back to campus in August. And so it's always really fun to look at their lines as the summer goes along, because it does tell you a lot about their development. I mean, a year ago, Brett Sears went out to the Northwoods and was that league's best pitcher, and that came after he was a kind of an average reliever for them last year. And so that kind of put him on radars. Will Walsh has gone through that. Keith Sanderson a year ago was really good as a freshman playing in a college league. So it's a really, I think, telling. It can be a pretty predictive time for just kind of seeing, the next steps a lot of these guys take. So yeah, they're out. You can find, their daily box scores on some of their team sites, and they're trying to stack innings, stack at bats, and I think a lot of these guys will be better, history would say, when they get back to campus here in the fall.
Awesome. Evan, also, there's so many moving parts. You got like College World Series, and you got that going, but now, correct me if I'm wrong, Nebraska did get a commitment in the last week or so, correct? A hitter?
They did, yeah. Cale Frost from South Dakota State.
Yeah, tell us about him, because I know he's coming out and he's got pop in the bat.
Yeah, I was trying to think about Nebraska's most impactful portal bats that they've added in the last few years, and I think he's got to be at the top of the list. I mean, as a guy, he's got 1 year left. He was a former JUCO kid who went to South Dakota State, hit 21 bombs, hit above 340. He was the Summit League Player of the Year, and so he comes in with a year to go, established production at the college level, and he plays corner outfield. And so when you think about what Nebraska's losing there with Cole Evans or Clay Bradford, Garrett Anglem, those guys are moving on, and then we'll see about Gabe Swanson with the draft here next month. But Nebraska's going to have an opening for sure, maybe more at those corner spots. And so Frost will be, not just a productive bat in that lineup, but somebody who fits right in where they need defensively as well. So big portal ad for sure. I know he had some other power conference looks. I think Minnesota and Kansas and others were after him. And so what was kind of cool, and I wrote about this last week, but they played that game in Lincoln at Haymarket Park, and South Dakota State won that game. And any Husker fan will tell you that was the worst loss that Nebraska had this year. But that game was a chance for Frost to see 5,000 people in the stands, and that ended up being one of the key decision points for him in deciding to come to Nebraska. So kind of ironic how it all worked out, but it'll be an impact bat for them next year for sure.
Awesome. Great stuff, Evan, man. Appreciate your time on a Monday as always, and we'll keep watching for all the great updates that you're providing for the College World Series, my friend.
I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Evan. Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. Always good stuff from him. Let's take a break, and we'll come back. We're going to talk golf, but it's Husker golf and NIL when we return.
More next on the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume.
Welcome back in the morning hookup.
So I could get some
Special thanks to Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. We just talking about Evan. He is so in tune with not just Husker baseball, but just baseball in general.
Yeah.
You know, whenever like Husker baseball has ended and the kids that have gone on the summer programs, he's up at the College World Series like live tweeting.
Yeah.
He's in tune. So we love having Evan. So, but now we're going to keep the baseball theme going, but we're going to go red with it now and talk a little Husker baseball. We've got Ben and Megan and Ben Butenbach. Did I say it right?
It's Butenbach.
Butenbach. I've been trying. Like they've been trying to. I'm not very good with pronunciation.
Well, I have, I'm embarrassed too because I've called some of your son's football games and I think I've mispronounced that name too. So sorry about that.
Will does some high school games.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're used to it. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at one point in time it was Butenbach. And then
Okay.
You just go
my
with
great grandpa was like, I don't want anything to do with the Butenbachs. We're a Butenbach now. Like, all right. So we changed it from CH to CK. So that's how it all worked out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We got you both here. So, and we're going to go down a lot of stuff because there's a lot of connections in this world. And one of this guy, you got football going on. You're back in the 90s and that, but then you got Lincoln Sox baseball.
Oh, yeah.
And talk about that a little bit because going through that organization and what it means now you look back, because I know that our kids are going through Sox now, and you look back and you're like, that alumni of that program is now doing this.
Yeah, no doubt. So Max's first year, eights, we had two guys play up. Cale Fountain played on his team, and then Maddox Myers was on that team. So that eights was a pretty special team.
Carter Mick, too.
Oh yeah, Carter Mick, who's going to go into Nebraska.
Wow, okay.
There was four, future dudes that are going to be on that
It's
are
like
on
a
that
Hall
team.
of Fame class all of a sudden.
Well, they stayed back and they ended up winning a lot of games, like almost undefeated, and they ended up going down to Florida and playing in the Nationals. So yeah, no, Sox it's got a special part in our life. We like that organization. It was just, for me, I ended up coaching, so I was able to, like, all the money that we fundraised went into our pocket, so I could actually use that money for our stuff compared to pulling money in and then the organization giving us whatever they thought that we deserved. It was good. It was fun. It was an exciting part in our lives.
That's awesome because it's the same way, by the way. The teams, the Sox fundraise themselves, and you it kind of teaches you as a coach. One is like how to manage a ball club.
Oh yeah,
a little bit in your tournaments and where you're going and stuff like that. So, but speaking of that, we're going to go right to it. Speaking of fundraising,
okay,
it's kind of a fundraising thing, right? But it's with the words NIL. It's a new world.
100%
for all of us and trying to fund programs. And we're big with Husker baseball. So there's a big event coming up for you guys coming up. It's I think August 23rd. By the way, just to let everybody know, we're playing in it. I'll be playing in it. I know you want to play really bad.
Well, I don't want to play with you if you played like you played last Monday.
I'm not a fan of you right now.
I mean, I'm just telling the truth.
But let's talk about it. What the event, it gives all the details and what we're trying to do for this team.
Well, so the parents and families and people who care for Husker baseball and 1890 are coming together to do a fundraiser at Woodland Hills, August 23rd, 2:00 start. We're trying to give back to the student athletes, as some people know or might not know. There's limited scholarships for baseball. There's 11.7 scholarships for 30 plus people, and a lot of times they don't get their room and board paid for. That's room where they're laying their head at night, where they're most comfortable, where they can relax. It's not getting paid for, and then a lot of it's board. But what they eat, we want these kids to have D1 diets, but we're making them have to supplement through their own selves through that. So it's kind of nice to say, hey, if we can somehow fundraise to help you guys subsidize your not tuition, but subsidize your education, I think that'd be a benefit for these guys. And right now we're going against the SECs and the ACCs. Just in the paper not too long ago, they were saying a lot of these SEC schools have like $900,000 going in NIL to their kids. ACC is half that, $450,000. And I'm not sure where Nebraska's at, but I think if we want to compete in that level, we want our teams to go to host a super regional or to go to the College World Series, we're going to have to try to help that out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So August 23rd. Now,
23rd.
where can they go, like, to register? Because I want to go back first. Think about what you just talked about there. And I don't think people get that. 11.7 scholarships.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I knew it. And I you think back about like 30 something kids, right? Not everybody's come from the same pot. Okay. 11.7, the stress of the staff to go, well, you get 0.5, you get the 1, that's incredible to really think about, because I think about in D1, we all think, they're D1, man. They're paid for. They get scholarships, but I think it's important that awesome that parents are coming together to try to help this out.
No doubt. That was the whole goal. We had a good friend come up to us, and he was just saying, hey, we're having a hard time getting donors or sponsorships for Husker baseball. And I was like, it's hard for me just to give money to somebody and be like, hey, go ahead, spend this money wherever you want and do whatever you want with it. But if I get something in return, hey, I get to go play golf with my buddies. We have Samson Construction, who's they're a big sponsor right now. They got the dinner sponsorship, so we know we're going to get dinner that night. Acres and Zipline, they're a big sponsor for our drinks, so we're going to get 3 tickets to have a Zipline or whatever you want to drink. Bison with make the basketball hoops. Yep, they're a good sponsor for us. So we're just trying to get more and more people involved. I think it's like many hands make for light work. So if we can have a lot of guys in and taking care of it, it should be a good benefit for these young men.
Very cool. So again, remind us of the date in the location and everything again, please. The details on the golf tournament, please.
Yep, but we're gonna have it August 23rd out at Woodland Hills, and tee off is 2:00.
How's your guys' golf game?
I'm shooting for like 4
holes.
He's better than I am. That's for sure.
Also, when they register, because we're going to get people to register, all right, and we're going to post it. We'll put it on our chat. By the way, I'm live streaming.
Okay.
I did not put that on you guys today.
All right,
the live stream. So we'll get that up. But where can they go to register? Where can they go to be a sponsor too? So I'm sure you're probably still looking for sponsor, whole sponsor, whatever it is.
Yeah, we're looking for everything. Actually, we have it's listed on 1890's website, so 1890nebraska.com. Right on their front page is a link. A QR code that you can click. If you're not a golfer, we have other ways of helping out too. You can go to 1890 and not even click on our golf link, but just click to donate and say it's for baseball. If you want to donate that way.
It's golf status. So if you go to events, golf status, that's the web page, and it should have everything on there. It's pretty easy. You just go down and it'll be in the middle, be like chance to sponsor, and you can hit that and it'll show them all. Like we still like to have a lunch sponsor. We'd like to have, there's like hole-in-one sponsors we could usually actually have out there. Be kind of fun. We plan on having like a lot of fun games out there too. It's called Boozy Putt, where beforehand, we're going to put just a bunch of different bottles, cans, whatever. And like for $5, you'll putt, and whatever bottle or can you hit, you get a key. I'm kind of saying. And then we're going to put out a tee out there. And like on the par 5, we're going to put a tee out there and put a baseball on it. So all those baseball heads out there, they can smash the baseball as far as they want. And that's where they'll start from their tee off. So we're kind of getting some corporation with a little bit of baseball involvement too. So,
yep. And some of the boys will obviously be out there as well. Some of the baseball players, we're still kind of getting that organized and figured out.
Awesome. I want to ask, I did want to, I'm going to like digging this just a little bit, like the NIL stuff, because from a parent's perspective with baseball, because I know I'm going to ask, but do you feel like the kids have pressure to help? And because you say they're missing out on 11.7 scholarships, and because I think these are great events. That's why I'm trying to push people to say, yeah, these kids have a little bit of pressure because they're trying to provide. Like they're gone. I mean, not just sports wise, academic wise. How do they keep up? I played the little Division III baseball, and I felt a lot of pressure just because I was on the road.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're on the road a lot.
They're on the road a lot, and they're student athletes, right?
No doubt.
And we want to make sure that stays true to form.
Well, like Evan touched on earlier, the boys are spread out across the country this summer, so you can't get a job to help supplement your expenses. I know Max is up in Northwoods playing for the Wilmer Stingers, and they're on the road now they have 40 games in a row. It's a lot. Like there's no downtime. So right now they're up in North Dakota. Hitting 3 different spots up there, and then they'll come back to Wilmer. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure. Like they don't have a lot of downtime.
Yes. I was a football guy. We traveled, Friday we'd get up there, we'd we took an airplane up there, and then we'd have a game Saturday, and then we're flying back on Saturday night. So we were only gone like maybe a couple of days. Baseball, they're gone a lot. I mean, and it's just, they have to do all their education on the road and this kind of stuff. So it's, honestly, just seeing the different sides of the football and the baseball side, they do way more like Max was catching this year. He would have to go in and catch bullpens at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And so they got stuff outside where it's not where they can just get a job and pay subsidize their half tuition or quarter tuition with the job. We got to come up somewhere else. So we're hoping, like I said, this golf tournament is going to be a start. We hopefully do this annually. This is going to be something that we can keep doing and building on, and hopefully get more sponsorships and more love. Because all the time, when we were like 22nd or 23rd in the nation, people were like, oh man, we're gonna have a super regional. Well, let's put our money where our mouth is. If we want a super regional, we're gonna have to act like it. If we want to go to the College World Series, we got to put our money where our mouth is and do it. We just can't rely on other people to think, okay, they're going to handle it. So we're going to step up and we're going to try to do our best to get these guys there.
How cool is it to have your son go to the same university where you played sports at? How cool is that?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a dream come true for him, and it was kind of a dream come true for us too. It was like we want him to go down there and be a Husker, put on that red and get after it. So he's doing pretty well. So we're happy for him.
Good. I also have to ask because I know that a lot of people know you guys in town, but there was a moment in the Big Ten baseball tournament where there was a home run hit. I don't know if you saw this. We all saw it. Josh Karen hits one out to left. By the way, 2 big bombs he hit in that tournament that were 430 plus, which is hard to do at that ballpark. But there was a nifty move over the top to get that baseball. Yeah. Do you have any recollection of that?
I do. It was coming right at me. I thought I was going to catch it. I was on the concourse and I was like, he smashed that ball and it was coming right at me. It fell maybe like 2 feet short. I jumped over the ledge, grabbed it, held it up for the world to see. The thing is, I wanted to keep it and give it to him. I was like, this is going to be a big thing for him. I'm like, hey, this is a two-run bomb that he just hit. And I waited for him afterwards. I throw it to him. Hey, put this on your mantle. He grabs it and like turns around and gives it to a kid. And he signed it and gave it to a kid. Like, man, if you were going to do that, I would have kept it.
Yeah,
like, I would have kept it.
I didn't know he gave it to a kid.
Oh yeah, I asked Max, like, you guys don't really care about your home run balls? No, they don't care. So they're happy to give it to someone else, honestly.
Yeah.
So
taking care of those kids, man. So again, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We'll keep doing it. We got it. It's right here on our live stream, our live chat, and we'll continue to talk about it. And what we can do also is have you back into as we get closer.
Okay.
Because I want to keep updates going. We'll have you back in and we'll do it again. August 23rd, Woodland Hills, 2 p.m. start. The chat is right there. You can see the link, and we're going to fill this thing up.
Yes, let's do it.
Fill up these kids. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and do stories that we missed.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
Campus, downtown Lincoln. With the area's best food trucks available on site, there's something for everyone. Jazz in June is every Tuesday evening starting at 7 during the month of June. This week, enjoy music from Emily Bass and the Near Miracle. For more information and the complete season schedule and special VIP tickets, please visit jazzinjune.com. That's jazzinjune.com. Great jazz in the great outdoors.
Seems like just the other day, I was building my first house. I've seen many changes to our building market in Lincoln. It's been a fun road.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
We hear this a lot where I don't want to live in a cookie cutter home. Well, let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. One thing that we started doing early on was we started building neighborhoods. I'm a firm believer.
All right. What's going on? Did I leave a box in the phone? I see Sarah's in the chat now. Hello, Sarah. Thew, you're up there. What are you doing today? Thew's going to be on the show with me Thursday, Friday. I'm excited for that. Sarah missed you yesterday. Dad had a really fun time. Mm-hmm. It was fun. They want to get my gold on ceiling. He did, Claire. Yeah, he came in. He he just texted me, asked me if he left something there, and I don't think he did. But I think I need to stop pouring him doubles when he comes in. And they weren't even double. I mean, they were just over singles. They weren't even a lot. No, Squirt. He was drinking Windsor and Squirt, Claire.
Hello.
Hi. That was awesome.
Rick said, thanks for having them on. It was good. They're good people, man. Good people. It's just so interesting on that, hearing that 11.7 scholarships.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's very limited.
Which means like there's probably only 3 that get a full ride.
If that. But remember, you got 30. Let's say you have 30.
Yeah. Wow.
So big deal. Big deal. I want to try to help those guys fill it up a little bit. And we'll have them back on as we get through this. So. Awesome.
Stories we
missed, man. Stories we missed.
God, I hope I have something to bring up.
What, you can't find any stories?
Have you found any?
I haven't looked, but I'm sure they're out there. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
I have one. I have a good one, actually.
Well, yeah.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting in the evening.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Boy, that was awesome. Awesome. Thanks to Megan and Ben Butenbach hanging out with us. Their son Max, he's a Husker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's up in Northwoods. We talked to Evan about that, where all these kids are going for the summer, and just interesting. Again, we got the link popped up there if you guys feel moved to jump on and get a foursome, or there's a per person deal on there that you can do, or however to help these kids, or even spread the word. Spread the word for them.
Mm-hmm.
Spread the word, pass it on.
Sounds like that would go a long way. This tournament for that team.
Well, yeah, you know what? Golf tournaments, by the way, not just, again, I'm not speaking of just Huskers, obviously. I got a flyer, too. Look at this.
Oh, good.
Flyer.
Good.
But I do know that they are, I'm going to say lucrative, but they help. Like we do one every year for our Sox teams. 11s and 13s get together and do a tournament. And it covers like a lot. And that's just small time select baseball. It covers a lot. Like pretty much funds the season.
Wow.
When you do these.
Yeah.
So, and you get to have a lot of fun and you get to drink.
It's a lot of fun.
And like I said, I'm in a foursome with 3 other Sox coaches out there. So the Lincoln Sox coaches will be out there. We'll be in a foursome. One of them in the group is a former Husker that I coach with.
You better figure out that driver.
We'll figure it out. So, all right, let's do stories that we missed.
That's not right.
That's not right. Boy, we are off
the
today.
Stories we missed. The morning hookup.
My goodness.
I wanted to play this. So obviously there was that situation with Texas A&M
Yeah,
fans.
man. Again, no space for that.
It's crazy.
I don't know what the outcome. I know they removed them. I hope they are banned forever from the college. Whatever they can ban them from, ban them.
Sounds like they're gonna be.
And whatever the story is, the situation, and people are like, "Well, I don't give a crap." In sports, there's no room for that. It's like select baseball parents. There's no reason for you to be coming over a fence either.
This was the Texas A&M coach during his press conference after that game.
Yeah, first of all, happy Father's Day to everyone. And I want to apologize on behalf of Texas A&M for whatever the heck went on over there in that dugout. Whoever those 2 guys are, they don't represent what Texas A&M is all about. And whoever they are, just don't come back. Let's not let those 2 guys back in the ballpark.
Jeez, who's running that athletic department over at
Yeah,
Texas
who's
A&M?
running that? Who's allowing that?
Who is the AD at Texas
Yeah,
A&M?
you guys
that's
know
allowing these
anybody?
crazy fans?
Odd.
Jeez.
Odd. A&M fans up in Omaha making a ruckus.
Yeah. My God, that person needs to be talked to.
And there's no excuse. I've heard the excuse, like the excuse this and that. There's no excuse. I don't care if the game started at 10 o'clock and they were drinking all the entire time. No excuse.
It's stupid.
Be better. Boy, you see this story? LSU. Les Miles is suing LSU on saying that pretty much They're keeping them out of the College Hall of Fame because of the vacated wins. They had to vacate 37 of his wins from 2012 to 2015. And pretty much they're saying it took me out of the College Hall of Fame.
I don't like that story because, like, you just think they're just getting given back to you.
Well, here's the deal.
You broke rules.
Here's the problem. The 37 vacated wins taken away, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is the dumbest thing in the world because they actually happened.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It dropped his winning percentage below 600, 0.600. And you have to have 0.600 to get in.
Really?
Currently, what I read, he's at 0.596, which is like one win.
Oh,
I saw the stat. If he went 3-18 at Kansas. If he'd went 4-17, he'd be in.
I don't know. It's like you've been fine with having these wins vacated for all of this time, and now that you have a chance to get in, it's just I don't know.
Oh well,
this was if there's anything going down in fire quicker than Colorado football, I want to know what it is.
This is an incredible. Whatever. I'm not. Should I say not surprised?
I don't think anybody should be surprised. One of the you saw a lot of people transferring from Colorado over the offseason, and I think we're starting to figure out why. Apparently, a Colorado player says Coach Prime playing daddy ball and threatening to dismiss any player that missed Shedeur Sanders' rap concert was the final straw for many transfers. Apparently, Shedeur Sanders was having a rap concert. I think it was like a Lil Wayne show. And so basically, Coach Prime was like, hey, if you don't go to my son's rap concert,
you're out.
You're done. It's insane.
Is it not? You want to see my shock face?
Yeah.
Not good. My shock face?
Yeah, shock face. What a stupid thing, man. That program is going up in fire. I saw an early line for that game. We're favored by like 6 points.
Yeah.
We're going to beat the crap out of them. I mean, that is a bad situation.
Speaking of that, man, also tonight, man, is it over tonight? Does Boston reign as the champion tonight? Mavs, Boston 6.5-point favorites. 7:30 tonight. What happens, Will Wilson?
It's over. It's over tonight.
So. Or did they figure something out?
I don't think so.
This is a big game. Like, honestly, let's think it through. Like, if they were to win, let's say Mavs go in there and get one. That'd be 3-2. Where do you got to go?
You got to go back to Dallas. But I don't know, man. I think the Celtics wanted to get back to Boston. Mavs were desperate. How much did they win that game by? 30 points?
30. Well, yeah, that is but still, they're playing desperate again. It ain't going to change.
Celtics have been money at home.
I
they're
would
winning
take
tonight.
Boston too. I think they would hoist it tonight. Also, by the way, if you're out and about, you're up there 1:00 today. Elimination game, another elimination game up at Omaha, Florida, taking on NC State at 1:00, and then you get an SEC matchup tonight, 6:00. A&M, boy, 50 wins, man, wow, 50 wins against a gritty Kentucky team tonight.
Florida's winning.
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah, I got Florida.
I think so too.
I'll take A&M in the night game.
Really hard to get past. Boy, Tennessee, man. Tennessee beat the Tar Heels last night. Pretty good. They were good.
Yeah, are you going up today?
I don't know yet. Boys are trying to convince me that'd be a good time to go since we're going to be gone and possible rain tomorrow. So, you know that. All right. Well, that was good, man. Good stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. So we appreciate you so much. You guys have a great Monday. Stay hydrated. Stay inside if you have to. Really hot outside. So tomorrow, Robin Washut, Brian Munson, and a whole lot of you. Have a great Monday.